Hello everyone, and welcome to our International Transportation and Logistics Final Examination Revision. In this session, we are going to focus on 5 important areas. We will begin with international logistics infrastructure and outsourcing. We will then move into sea, air, and land transportation. As you listen, I want you to focus on relationships. International logistics is not simply about selecting a transportation mode. It is about creating an efficient flow of goods across countries. Infrastructure, technology, information, customs, logistics, partners, and regulations all have to work together. Let us begin with international logistics infrastructure. When you hear the word infrastructure, you may immediately think about roads, ports, and airports. Those are important, but international logistics infrastructure is much broader. It includes physical facilities, transportation networks, warehouse technology, information systems, and customs systems. The first factor is transportation network connectivity. Imagine an international retailer importing products through a modern seaport. The port itself may be highly efficient. But what happens if the roads connecting the port to the distribution center are congested or poorly developed? The port may perform well, but the overall logistics system still performs poorly. So you need to examine the entire network. Ports, airports, highways, rail terminals, warehouses, and distribution centers must be effectively connected. Next, consider port and terminal efficiency. Modern terminals use automated container handling systems, digital cargo tracking, and electronic documentation. These technologies can reduce vessel waiting time and improve cargo movement. If a port is congested or uses inefficient handling systems, lead times and logistics costs can increase. Warehouse automation is another factor. Robotics, automated sorting, artificial intelligence, and warehouse management systems can improve picking speed, inventory accuracy, and order fulfillment. Then we have ICT infrastructure. Cloud systems, GPS, RFID, and data analytics can provide real-time visibility. Managers can monitor shipments, identify delays, and communicate more accurately with customers and logistics partners. But even an excellent transportation network can fail if customs procedures are inefficient. Imagine cargo reaching the border quickly and then remaining there for several days because documentation is processed manually. The physical transportation system is not the problem. The customs process is the bottleneck. Electronic declarations and digital customs systems can accelerate cargo clearance and reduce administrative delays. So remember this sequence: connect, handle, automate, communicate, and clear. Now let us move into outsourcing. International companies often outsource transportation, warehousing, distribution, or even manufacturing. Why? Outsourcing can provide specialist expertise, lower costs, and access to international logistics networks. But outsourcing also creates coordination and control challenges. Suppose a company uses manufacturers in several countries and external logistics providers to transport its products worldwide. Production schedules, inventory information, and transportation plans must be coordinated. This is where information sharing becomes essential. ERP systems, cloud platforms, and logistics dashboards can allow the company and its partners to exchange information in real time. You also need to evaluate the capability of the outsource provider. Do not select a 3PL simply because it offers the lowest price. Ask whether it has international freight expertise, reliable transportation, suitable warehousing facilities, and adequate geographical coverage. Quality control is equally important. Supplier audits, inspections, and performance evaluations can help maintain consistent standards. And finally, think about risk. Geopolitical instability, supplier failure, cybersecurity problems, and transportation disruptions can affect outsourced operations. So remember this important principle: you may outsource an activity, but you cannot outsource responsibility completely. You still need to manage information, performance, quality, security, and risk. Now that we understand the infrastructure and partnerships supporting international logistics, we can follow the cargo itself. And for a large proportion of international trade, that journey begins with sea transportation. Now let us follow the movement of cargo through 2 major international transportation modes, sea and air. We begin with sea transportation. Sea transportation plays an important role in international trade because it can move very large quantities over long distances at a relatively economical cost. But efficient maritime transportation depends on several technical factors. The first is port infrastructure capacity. Modern container vessels require deep water terminals, efficient cranes, storage space, and appropriate cargo handling equipment. Imagine a shipping company operating very large container vessels. The vessels may be technologically advanced, but what happens if the destination port cannot accommodate them efficiently? The ship may have to wait. Cargo handling becomes slower. Congestion develops. The advantage of having an advanced vessel is partly lost. This shows you an important relationship. Vessel capability and port capability must match. Next, consider vessel technology and capacity. Modern ships use advanced navigation systems, digital monitoring, and more fuel-efficient engines. Larger vessels can transport enormous volumes and may reduce transportation cost per container. But again, larger is not automatically better. The ports on the route must be able to handle the vessel. Route optimization is another important factor. Shipping companies consider distance, fuel consumption, weather, congestion, and port conditions when planning routes. An apparently shorter route may not always be the best route if it has severe congestion or weather risks. Customs and documentation also matter. International sea freight requires extensive documentation. Electronic systems can reduce administrative errors and improve cargo clearance. Finally, maritime transportation is affected by environmental and safety regulations. Shipping companies must comply with requirements relating to vessel safety, emissions, and waste management. So for sea transportation, remember port, vessel, route, documentation, and regulation. Now let us compare this with air transportation. The central advantage of air transport is speed. It is particularly suitable for high-value electronics, urgent components, medical supplies, perishables, and express shipments. But speed depends on more than the aircraft. First, you need suitable airport infrastructure. Efficient cargo operations require appropriate runways, cargo terminals, sorting equipment, and sufficient handling capacity. An excellent aircraft cannot compensate completely for a poorly functioning airport. Aircraft technology and maintenance are also important. Modern cargo aircraft use advanced navigation and fuel-efficient technologies. But regular maintenance is essential. A technical failure can disrupt tightly scheduled international delivery networks. Then we have real-time tracking. Barcode scanning, GPS, and cloud-based tracking systems allow cargo to be monitored throughout its journey. This improves customer visibility, but it also helps managers identify delays and make better operational decisions. Now think carefully about customs. Companies often choose air freight because they need speed. What happens if the aircraft arrives quickly, but the cargo then spends 2 days waiting for customs clearance? Much of the advantage of air transportation disappears. That is why electronic documentation and efficient customs coordination are particularly important for air cargo. Security is another major requirement. Cargo screening, surveillance, and aviation security procedures help protect shipments and maintain regulatory compliance. So when you think about air transportation, remember this: customers pay more for speed and reliability. Every supporting activity must protect that speed and reliability. We have now followed international cargo by sea and by air. But ports and airports are rarely the final destination. Goods still need to reach factories, warehouses, distribution centers, retailers, and customers. And that takes us naturally to international land transportation. Now we need to complete the journey. On-say goods leave a port or airport. They often depend on land transportation to reach their final destination. International land transportation mainly involves road and rail. Let us begin with road infrastructure. Good highways and transport corridors can improve delivery speed, fuel efficiency, and vehicle reliability. Poor roads can increase travel time, maintenance costs, fuel consumption, and accident risk. This means you should never evaluate an international trucking route only according to distance. Imagine Route A is shorter, but the road is badly maintained and heavily congested. Route B is slightly longer but has a modern highway. Which one is better? You cannot answer by looking at distance alone. You need to consider total travel time, fuel consumption, vehicle wear, reliability, and cost. Now consider rail transportation. Rail can be particularly useful for moving large cargo volumes over long inland distances. In suitable situations, it may offer lower costs and environmental advantages compared with road transportation. Efficient rail systems can therefore strengthen international logistics corridors. Next, we need to consider borders. A truck may travel efficiently for hundreds of kilometers and then wait several hours at an international checkpoint. In this situation, the highway is not the bottleneck. The border process is electronic customs systems. Coordinated inspections and efficient border procedures can reduce these delays. Fleet management technology is also important. GPS tracking, route optimization, and vehicle monitoring systems allow logistics companies to monitor location, fuel consumption, driver performance, vehicle utilization, and delivery schedules. But do not simply write that a company should use GPS. Explain the operational effect. GPS provides real-time vehicle visibility. This information can improve route planning and delivery scheduling. Better planning can reduce delays and fuel consumption. This can lower operating costs and improve service reliability. That is the type of explanation you need in a scenario-based answer. Finally, consider fuel and environmental management. Fuel is a major transportation cost. At the same time, environmental regulations are influencing fleet decisions. Fuel-efficient vehicles, electric trucks, and emission reduction programs can therefore contribute to both cost management and sustainability. Now, let us bring the entire revision together. We started with international logistics, infrastructure. We then examined outsourcing, followed by sea, air, and land transportation. Although these appear to be separate topics, there is one pattern connecting all of them: infrastructure, technology, information, coordination, regulation. Performance. When you receive a scenario in the examination, begin by asking, where is the actual problem? Is the infrastructure inadequate? Is the technology unsuitable? Is information not being shared? Is customs creating a bottleneck? Is an outsourced provider failing to meet the required standard? Or is regulatory compliance affecting the operation? Once you identify the problem, use 4 steps. Factor operation application. Impact first, identify the relevant factor. Second, explain how that factor works. Third, apply it directly to the scenario. Fourth, explain the operational impact. Let us take port infrastructure as an example. A weak answer says, the company should improve port infrastructure. A stronger answer explains that adequate terminal capacity, modern cranes, and cargo handling systems can reduce vessel waiting and improve container movement. Faster vessel turnaround can reduce delays and support more reliable international deliveries. Notice the difference. You are explaining the relationship between the recommendation and the operational outcome. As you prepare for the examination, avoid memorizing isolated lists. Understand how the international logistics system works. A shipment may travel through a warehouse, a port, a vessel, another port, customs, rail, and finally road transportation before reaching the customer. A weakness at any one point can affect the entire journey. That is why international transportation and logistics is ultimately about creating an uninterrupted and coordinated flow across countries. So read every scenario carefully. Identify where the problem occurs. Select a relevant concept, apply it to the situation. Then explain why your recommendation improves costs, speed, reliability, visibility, security, or overall logistics performance. That brings us to the end of our International Transportation and Logistics Final Examination revision. Stay focused, manage your examination time carefully, and make sure your answers demonstrate application rather than simple memorization. I wish you all the very best in your final examination. Good luck.